Welcome, in front of me is a HUAWEI MatePad T10, and today I'll go over unboxing along with an overview of this tablet. And starting off, this is obviously the packaging that it comes in, and quickly get my little knife. I can quickly find it so I can actually unpack it. There we go, found it. Yep, so let's pop this open. And let's just literally tear it apart. Okay. Okay, so let's just pop it and see what's inside, apart from the tablet itself. There we go. So it has this really unique way of opening the box, kind of more of a traditional way. And the first thing we're greeted with is, well, this little pen flip right here. So different ways we can get apps to our device, because obviously this tablet will not have any kind of Google services. So one of the ways would be through the app gallery, and that is basically their equivalent of the Play Store. Then we have Phone Clone, which allows you to basically clone apps from device that, for instance, has Google Store. So you just kind of download their Phone Clone app to a non-HUAWEI device even, and simply select which kind of application you want and go through the process of cloning it to this device. And even if that app isn't on the app gallery, you can still get it. So just a kind of a neat way of getting apps that aren't at the moment supported on HUAWEI. And they'll then PTOL search. I assume this is just their equivalent of just a Google search bar that you are, well, accustomed to. So I just drop it to the side and get the tablet itself. There we go. So fairly nice looking. Obviously I already did smear it up, so let me set it to the side for now. And we can see what else we get. So we got a uni looking charger. And this is going to be, what is it? Quickly. So this looks to be a minuscule 5-watt charger. You can see it. Come on. Oh, there we go. So this is a, well, terrible charger to say the least. I'm just gonna drop it in here. Set it to the side. And in here, some eject tool. Paperwork and, well, charging cable. So there we go. And apart from the charging cable and the paperwork, there is nothing else in here. So I'm just gonna drop it to the side. And the cable is at least a Type-C cable, as you can see right here. So Type A to Type-C. It's fairly nice that they actually included in a budget device Type-C here. Okay, so let's get the box out of the way, drop it somewhere, and move to the tablet itself. So all is turning on, I'm gonna go over just the specifications of it, and we do have a 9.7 inch LCD IPS display, which you can see right now, with a fairly hefty bezel, as you can see. It comes at a fairly low resolution of 1280 by 800, so nothing really great, I would say. I assume if I kind of look at it closely, I will see pixelations. Let me actually see. Yeah, even looking from here, you can see it not being like really clear, I would say. So that is due to the fairly low resolution on the 155 pixels per inch, which is, I would say, below what I would expect that to be an average kind of pixel rate here. Now, most of the devices released in the 2020, so this year, came with 400 pixels per inch on average, and I'm talking about just smartphones in general. So this right here, it's a tablet and comes at a lower resolution, making this even worse. So even 720p will have higher pixel density than this tablet does because it just has a smaller display. So on here it's not gonna be the greatest experience, but because of the low resolution you will gain a little bit more battery life because of it, so that is at least a little bit of a positive here. And the device does come with a 5000 milliamp hour battery. Now, like I said before, this charger that comes with it is just complete and utter garbage at 5 watts. Good luck charging this device. 5 watts is basically how fast you were charging your phones back in like 2000 and what is it, 8? The charger that comes here is just a joke, I would say. And outside of that, it does come with a Kirin 710 and has a built-in 32 gigabytes of storage along with 2 gigabytes of RAM, and there is no other variants of it, so basically this is the max you can get. But you do have the ability to expand it via SD card, so if you want to expand the storage you can just pop in a max of 512 gigabyte SD card and gain, well, additional half a terabyte basically. And outside of that, other honorable mentions here is the fact that it does come with a headphone jack, if you can see right over here, and it does have a Type-C like I said before. There is the tray as well, and it has dual speakers, so stereo speakers right here on either side. Now the position of them isn't necessarily the greatest. If for instance you're playing games, you're gonna primarily cover them up, which I wouldn't really call a great decision here. So when you're holding it, as you can see, I am right now covering them. So if I hold it a little bit lower, then I do keep it partially uncovered. So that is a little bit better, but still the placement of it is a little bit, well, not the greatest, I would say. And then what else is there to say? We have dual cameras, or well, two cameras. One at the front, which you can see in this tiny little circle right over here, and that is a 2 megapixel sensor. And then on the back we have this one, which is a 5 megapixel. Now obviously the cameras here aren't gonna blow you away. They are nothing even close to what you're gonna be getting on their phones. So we can quickly do a test right here by opening up the camera. Let's go to the next, whatever. And let's pop a couple of photos. So I'm gonna bring my plant right here. And probably regret even trying this because this already, oh my god, this looks terrible. So this is not a bad photo, meaning in terms of capturing, this is just a bad camera. And yeah, it is a little bit, I would call it trash. Now on the camera it might not look as bad from what I'm seeing on the monitor, but it's lacking detail in the grains right here, the back right here, even though it's, I wouldn't call it blurry. It just kind of blends together. It looks really weird, not like it's supposed to, and most certainly not how it looks like on majority of the other phones, where it does blur it out, but it still makes it look like a carpet, which that's kind of what it is, unfortunately. But here it just looks like, I don't know, a sand almost. It has this weird look to it. So there is basically no detail here. Just the main subject is already not very great. Now it could have been worse, honestly, but still this photo looks quite bad in my opinion. But then it is a 5 megapixel sensor. Now based on just the back sensor, I don't even want to look at the front one because it's 2 megapixel. But hey, for the science, let's just capture my face here. So there we go, that's my ugly smug here. And yeah, it looks bad. Not only because, well, ugly smug, but the detail, the weird color washing right here from the light that is right here just kind of affected the photo itself. Outside of that, the background is weirdly lit up, and just the entire photo is just fuzzy, and I wouldn't call it great. So getting that out of the way, the cameras here are, well, not good, as you can see. And outside of that, there's not much more to say apart from, well, the price tag and kind of drawbacks slash well, pros and cons, I'll call it. So pro in here is the price of this device, which comes at around $150 or so, give or take. It seems to perform in terms of like the smoothness of the system with the Kirin 710. It seems to be doing okay here, but then it doesn't really have much to push. It does have a little bit too little RAM, I would say. 2 gigs in 2020, I would say it's not really enough. So we'd really like to see higher RAM here. And outside of that, the con here, the major one, I would say, is the charger. You basically have no charger here. And outside of that, if you're looking for a decent budget tablet, I wouldn't really call this one decent. It does have a compelling price tag, but it also has no Play Store, which is also another huge con to me. Even though the app gallery is getting better and better with time, at this moment it still lacks in certain features or apps that I would really want to use, and to me that wouldn't be worth getting. The hassle to basically clone apps to it from other devices is a little bit too much to bother with it when I can get something a little bit more expensive, but not by much, and have basically everything that I'm used to. So Play Store and better charger, I would say, or some of the things that I would be looking for. But at the end of the day, it is your decision if you find this device valuable for the price that it comes in, and for all intents and purposes it's not bad. It's just more the problem with it lacking good charging and good actual Google support, I would say. But yeah, other than that, it's an okay device. And that being said, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.